Right, so what I have here to demonstrate the mean is this same set of 12 people and the number of times they have been arrested. So in our sample of 12 people, again, each of them has been arrested some number of times, and that's what's listed out here. To find the mean, we're going to use the mean formula. The mean formula looks like this. And we say it like this. We say x bar equals the sum of all of our x's over n. And so what these values mean here, this x bar is always going to equal a sample mean. So anytime you see x bar, you want to know that we're talking about the sample mean. So here we have our sample of 12 people. We want to find the mean. X bar is our sample mean. This thing here that looks like a large E is the Greek letter sigma. And sigma means sum of when you're working with equations. So it means you're going to take the sum of whatever comes after it. In other words, you're going to take whatever comes after it and you're going to add it all up together. X here refers to our observations. So we would say that each of these different observations we have is a different x value. So this is an x, this is an x, this is an x, and so on. So when we say take the sum of x here, we're saying we want to add up all of these different x's, or observations, that we have. Finally, n refers to the total number of observations we have. So that's the same as it's meant in other equations and other things we've come across. So if you think about what this formula says, it's basically just repeating the idea that we're going to take all of our observations here, add them up, and divide by the total number of observations. We've just made it more formal by putting it in the form of this equation. So to find the mean, we're going to use this formula, and we're going to do what it's going to tell us to do. So the first thing that the formula tells us to do is to add up all of our different observations. So the top of our equation here, or the numerator of our equation, of this fraction, is going to be all of these different values added up. So I'll write that out now. We've got 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 4. So here are all of our different x's, and we're going to add them all up. In the denominator, so the bottom of the fraction, we're going to have our total number of observations with it, which is 12. So again, this is just an equation that's telling us to do what we already said in words, which is to add everything up and divide by the total number of observations that we have. If you add all this stuff up, you get 18 on the top, 12 on the bottom, and that comes out to a mean of 1.5. So we would say that the average or mean number of arrests that we have is 1.5. And so with that, I'm going to go back over to the PowerPoint and talk a little bit about first what the mean looks like in the class data, and then how measures of central tendency look when you graph them.